Good morning, learners. Welcome to our today's lesson. Lesson is about political development and system. So our main focus today is the traditional forms of government. Now, when you talk of traditional forms of government, of course, before the coming of the European or the white people, Africans, they had their system of government. So we are looking at the first people. These are the Bawanga people. Now, something about Bawanga, we are saying that Bawanga people live in western part of Kenya. Of course, these are the Bantus. So these are the Bantus, of course, that they live in western part of Kenya. So before the coming of the Europeans, these people, they were ruled by hereditary kings. When we say hereditary king, we are talking of the kingship, of course, evolved within a family. Meaning, if the father is the king, of course, the kingship, of course, will be handed over to the son. So it goes on and on to the generation that, of course, will be coming. So the king's title was Nabongo. The king's title was Nabongo. Then they're saying that the king came from a royal clan called Abashisese. So we had a royal clan. Now it's like a family. Of course, it started like a family, then now it grew to become a clan. So the king came from this clan, and of course it is called Abashisese. As we go further, we are saying that Nabongo Mia was the son of Shiundu. Who was the king when the European came. So Umia was the king when the white people came to our land. So the Nabongo ruled with the assistance of a council of elders known as Abakoli. So this we are now referring as the council of elders. For example, the present day, when you talk of the president, of course, rules under. Of course, we have the president, we have the cabinet, and of course, we also have like the permanent secretary. So this, of course, now in those days was referred to as a council of elders. These are, of course, people who could, of course, advise the king on several matters, depending on matters that may arise. We're also saying that he ruled with the assistance of the chiefs. So now as we go down to this structure, we have the chiefs whom he appointed. Of course, for easy ruling, of course, he needed, of course, people on the ground. So now we have the chiefs, of course, who directly he appointed them. He also ruled from his capital. The capital was known as Elureko, which is today called Mumias. So if you happen to go to western part of Kenya, the place called Mumias, of course, the history of this Nabongo, of course, still remains, and of course, the history is still there, and of course, but currently, of course, the king or the kingship has no powers because, of course, the country, of course, is under the president, and of course, the president is there, everything. So as we go further, we have the king now. We are saying that the king had absolute power. Now, he was the commander, of course, in chief. He was overall of everything. Then we are saying that his army. So as we say, he was the commander. He had his army that was called Olupiaba, that made him powerful among his neighbors. Now, This person, he was so brave that he saw when these people came, the white, of course, he knew that these people were powerful in terms of military equipment. At the same time, of course, they had better weapons, of course, to fight the enemies. So what he did, he collaborated with these people so that he could be given a military assistance to, one, to defeat his enemies, two, to be made a paramount chief. What do we mean by saying a paramount chief? Now, he wanted to conquer his neighbors, those neighboring chiefs or neighboring kingdoms. So the reason that now he collaborated is because he wanted to be made a paramount chief. And indeed, this happened because we are saying that Mumia was rewarded for his collaboration by being appointed paramount chief among the Luo, Teso, and the Luya. So we are saying that the history behind this, of course, it goes on, and of course, he achieved, of course, what he was aiming at, to be made a paramount chief. So our next is about the Ameru. We're now looking at the Ameru people. Ameru people. So we have the Ameru. Now, something about the Ameru. Ameru are the Bantu-speaking who live on the eastern side, eastern slopes of Mount Kenya. Their traditional government was based on the age system. We are talking about the age system. Now, the age system, of course, we are saying that, let's note something down. So we are saying that the Ameru people, we're saying the Ameru people live on the eastern slopes of Mount Kenya. Now, these people, their traditional government was based on that is on the age set system, was based on age set system. So we are saying it was based on the age set system. Two sets of rulers. We have Nuba and Kiruka rule for 12 to 15 years. So when we talk of now the age set, we are looking at the age set between the 12 years and the 15 years. And here we have the two rulers. We have Diba, that is Diba. We have Diba and Kiruka. Now we are talking of the age set is between 12 to 15 years. Then from there, the handing over of power to the next group was marked by Nduiko ceremony. So for example, now we are handing powers from 15 now onwards. There was a ceremony, of course, to be done, and the ceremony was called Nduiko. Then each group ruled with assistance of a council of elders called the Njurinjeke. So Njurunjeke among the Meru, this is the innermost, of course, the council of elders. These are the people, of course, who could settle any matter within the Meru people. Its members were, now we are now talking of the councils of elders. The members were Agambi, who were clan heads in the Meru. Then we have, we also have, so we are saying that each group ruled with the assistance of the council of elders called Njurunjeke. Its members were Agambi, who were clan heads in the Meru clans. The Njurunjeke was the custodians of the laws. So we are saying that these were the people who were custodians of the law. So it means that anything, of course, that has to do with the law, these were the right people, of course, to settle. These were the right people to settle. So we are saying that it solved disputes among the Meru. That is one. Also, assist in difficult cases. Then, if we have a lesser case, we had a lesser council called Njurimbere was also formed. Now that something that's not that difficult, of course, something that we are saying a lesser case, this one could be solved by a council of elders called the Njurimbere. Then persons convicted by Njurunjeke and Njurimbere were handed over to Ngomango for punishment. So now we have Ngomango in terms of punishment. Then we are saying that the community had a religious leader called Mugwe, whose functions were as follows. So when you talk of now religions, of course, he was to bless the warriors, for example, if they are going to war. Now, the Mugwe presided over the rites of passage ceremonies to decide on what was not allowed in community and what was good for the community. Also to speak, that is to speak blessings over major events among the Meru. Then the cooperation between the two clans or the two councils of elders and Mugwe brought peace among the Meru people. So elders did not participate in raids, hunting, or protecting the community against attacks. So the Meru people, of course, when we trace back to that is the class 6, of course, this is where it starts. So basically, learners, you can go back to that is political development and systems in class 6, and of course, you will find more about these the Meru people. Our last is the Baganda. Our last is the Baganda people. Baganda. Now, the Baganda or the Buganda kingdom was located to northwest of Lake Victoria and southwest of Lake Kyoga. So this kingdom, we are saying, is between Lake Victoria and of course Lake Kyoga. So it is in between the two lakes. So we are saying that the headquarters of the kingdom was in Mengo, which is present-day Kampala. So when you talk of now the kingdom being between the two lakes, Kyoga and Victoria, now the headquarter, when you talk of the headquarter, of course, was in Mengo. But the present day it is called Kampala. And of course, Kampala now is the capital city of Uganda. it became a very powerful kingdom between 18th and 19th century. It was made up of 54 clans. So when you talk of the Baganda kingdom, we are talking of 54 clans. So that's why it was so powerful. 54 clans. Then it was ruled by a king who was inherited by his firstborn son. So again, just like the Abanga people, the kingship was hereditary. So the first son took over. The king's title was Kabaka, who the king's title was Kabaka, and the first Kabaka was Kabaka King 2. You are talking of Kabaka King 2. So the Kabaka had the following powers. 1. Judicial powers. When you talk of judicial powers, you listen to very serious dispute, whereby now he could make the judgment, because he was the final judge. Number 2, military powers. He was the commander-in-chief of the forces in the Buganda kingdom. And of course, he could declare war or peace. Number 3, religious powers. He represented he represented Katonda, that is Buganda traditional god, by presiding over religious rituals. Then number 4, the economic functions. He controlled the trade. 5, social functions. He was the leader of the community. Then 6, when you talk of administrative part, now he was the head of the government. So the kingdom had a centralized government. What do we mean by centralized government? It was effective administration. When we talk of a centralized government, of course, we have people under the president. For example, if it's now the president of Kenya, of course we have the president, and of course we have the cabinet. We have the president, we have the deputy president, we have the cabinet. Of course, all these people are under, of course, the president. But the president cannot rule without the assistance of these people. So also in this kingdom, of course, there was a system of government, of course, from the top to down the line. So learners, what I want you to do, you go back to your books, that is on traditional forms of government, and what I want you to do, of course, you need to write down notes about the Wanga people, the Ameru people, and of course the Buganda kingdom. So the lesson today basically was just to remind you on the traditional forms of government, because this was taught in class 6, but it's just a reminder, of course, that anything we need to, of course, to relook at it. So I want to thank you for listening, and of course, may God bless you.